Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Danielle if you're new, and I'm a full-time reseller on Poshmark and Mercari. In today's video, I thought I would do a part 2 to my previous video that was finding stock photos. So I basically picked 10 brands and showed you guys how to find the stock photos for those 10 brands. So I'm back again with another 10 brands to show you how to find those stock photos. You guys seem to really like the stock photos part 1 video, so I'm back with part 2. If you didn't see the finding stock photos part 1 video, go ahead and go check that out first. There are 10 different brands in that video. So how this is gonna work, I picked 10 different brands. They are here next to me, and I'm gonna go through them individually and show you guys exactly how to find the stock photos for those brands. I do have my laptop in front of me. Now I typically do find stock photos and stuff on my cell phone, but I'm filming on my phone, so I do use my laptop and do a screen recording so I can show you guys exactly what I'm doing. So let's go ahead and jump right in. So the first brand that I chose to show you guys is actually going to be Nike. Now, Nike is a brand where it doesn't always work to find the stock photos using this specific way, but I find most of the time if it's a newer item and not a super old item, it does work. So this is just a Nike women's top, and you're gonna find the materials tag. So you'll see pretty much most of these items, you're gonna go straight to the materials tag because that is where all the information you need is gonna be. So on the materials tag, there is going to be a tiny little tag right underneath that looks like this. I don't know if you guys, I hope that focused for you guys. Now on this little tag, you see a lot of numbers and letters, and you're probably looking at it like, what the heck am I supposed to type in? So for Nike, looking at this tag, the third line down is what we are going to use to find the stock photo. So jumping on over to your laptop, computer, wherever, you can pretty much do this from any browser, Google, Safari, pretty much anything. So what you're gonna first do is type in the brand, which is Nike, and then you're going to type in the third down. So it starts with AT, and then we have 0821, and then you're going to push enter. So as you can see, it pulled up lots of results. What I like to do is go to images first because I'm trying to find a stock photo. And then as you can see, the first thing that pops up is going to be the top that we have. It is called the Women's Nike City Sleek Short Sleeve. So here we have a stock photo. If you have another color, it should pull up the color that you have with the number that you typed in. But you could then take this title and then type in pink or green or blue, and then it would pull up exactly what you're looking for. So this not only pulls you up a stock photo, but also pulls you up the name of the exact item, which will better increase your chances of selling the item if someone's searching for this specific shirt. Something really important when finding Nike stock photos is when you're typing in this letter and number sequence, you don't want to type in the dash and the last bit of it. You want to do everything before the dash, and then that will pull up the stock photo. The next brand I grabbed to show you guys is Theory. And now Theory is a brand I like to pick up. It is a more higher end brand. And I do find with Theory, it's more of a 60-40 me finding stock photos versus not finding stock photos using this method, but this is the method that I do use when I have Theory, and then if I can't find it using this method, I will just search keywords. That is always a great way to find stock photos if you can't use any style numbers or anything like that. Using keywords typically will pull the items up, or if it's a really, really old item, you may not be able to find a stock photo for it. So once again, we're gonna go into this inside materials tag on this Theory piece, and we're gonna flip it over to the back. And now if you're looking at it, you see at the very top, it says style number. Now with most pieces, there's going to be a style number, and that's what we're gonna type in. These pieces are pretty straightforward, but I still wanna show them to you just in case you are a little lost or you have questions. This will answer all your questions. So now we're gonna go back to Google and we're gonna type in Theory, and then we're gonna type in F02, oh, we're gonna put a space, F0203 229, and then we're gonna push enter, and then we're gonna go over to images, and now here we are. This looks like to be what I'm looking for, and this right here, this is a listing on Poshmark. So sometimes the stock photo will come up for a Poshmark listing. Other times, like this is from Amazon from the UK, and this is kind of all it pulled up for this item, but you still found a stock photo. So these are called the women's cropped Daniel pull-on pant. So not only did you find a stock photo, you also have the name, which once again better enhances your chances of selling the item, because if someone's looking for that specific item, then they're gonna find it if you put this in your title. The next brand I pulled to show you guys is Beta Brand. Beta Brand, pretty straightforward once again to find stock photos. I enjoy selling this brand. It usually sells pretty quick and for quite a bit of money. These are a brand new with tag pair. And once again, we're gonna go into this little materials tag. This is going to be very repetitive, so most of the time you're gonna find the materials tag because that is where the information you need is. So looking at this materials tag, I don't know if that's fully focused, but where my little finger is pointing, you're gonna see two little lines. And now we're gonna do the top line, not the PO number, but the one above that. So we're gonna go over to Google and we're gonna type in beta brand, and then we're going to type in this number. So W0565. And then we're gonna go to images once again. And as you can see lots of different photos. Now, this search result did not pull up one that is my color that I have. So if I go into here, this is the beta brand website. So these are called the classic dress pant yoga pants. So I can go back up here and type in beta brand, classic dress pant yoga pants, and I can type in navy blue, not like that, let me spell it right. I still spelled it wrong. Anyways, we can type in navy blue, and then we have the stock photos. So those are the pants I have. So sometimes with different brands, it'll pull up the style name, but not necessarily the color you have. In that case, you can just search the style name and then the color you have, and then it'll pop up a million results for what you're looking for. And just make sure it's the exact same item, because you don't want to put a stock photo on your listing that is not actually the item you're selling. But this is a pretty simple way to find beta brand stock photos, and it pretty much works for me every time. And the next brand I pulled for you guys is Lucky Brand. Lucky Brand is a brand I sell sometimes. I'm pretty picky with what I do pick up, but they do have really great styles. And a lot of people like selling Lucky Brand, so I thought I'd show you guys how to find the stock photos. So once again, we're gonna go down to the materials tag. And on Lucky Brand, there is a few different tags, but we're gonna go to the one in the very, very back. So on this tag back here, it looks like this. And you can see it says style number, and it also has a bunch of other letters and numbers on there. But we are just concerned about the first row after it says style. Some Lucky Brand pieces do not say style number on them. I believe this dress is a newer piece, and that's why it says style number. Other Lucky Brand pieces just have a bunch of letters and numbers, but you will still just type in that one singular sequence, and then that should pull it up. So we're over here on Google, and we're gonna type in Lucky Brand, and then we're gonna type in this number and letter sequence. So 7W90776. And then we're gonna go to images. And then the very first thing is from Amazon, and it is the dress that we have. So as you can see, this is called Women's Printed Ruffle Mini Dress, and this is the exact dress that we have. So once again, you got the stock photo and the style name. The next brand I pulled for you guys is Athleta, and these are just a pair of Athleta jeans, but this is the same with all Athleta products. So what you're gonna do with Athleta is you're gonna find this tag here. And now with most Athleta pieces, there's gonna be a little baby tag underneath this that'll have all the information on it. With these, it is over on the opposite side of the jeans, and I don't know why that is, but if it's not there, I would look throughout the piece and see if it's somewhere else. But these, you can see a lot of information on this little tag. So the first thing is going to have an S and a slash. That is going to be the style number. And then it's also going to tell you on some pieces, it's going to say exactly what the item is. So these say Sculptex Slim Lapis Wash, because that is what this piece is. Some pieces I find more of like the older pieces don't really have that. But this piece does. You're then going to go down some and you're going to see the year that it was made. So these are made in 2018, January of 2018. So this little baby tag can give you a ton of information that will help you either find stock photo or fill out in your description, or just a bunch of information that the buyer could. So we're back on Google and we're going to type in Athleta. And then what we're going to do is we're not going to type in the S slash, we're going to leave that out, but we're going to type in all the numbers. So we're going to type in 33827, and then we're going to push enter. And then we're gonna go over to images. And as we can see, nothing pulled up. So if it doesn't pull up with this first way, which most things I find do, what you can do if the tag on here actually says what it is, you can actually type that in. So I'm gonna type in Athleta Sculptex Slim, Sculptex Slim, and then it's gonna be Lapis Wash. And then we're gonna push enter. And as you can see this is an eBay listing for the exact jeans that we're selling. You can see a million of them. So If the first way doesn't work, you can always use that second way. Now, if neither of these two ways work, you're gonna have to use describing words and keywords to try to find the stock photo. Typically, if I can't find the stock photo using one of these two ways, I just don't find one at all. It doesn't hurt anything if you don't find a stock photo, and you don't want to spend too much time trying to find a stock photo, because then you're just wasting time. So the next brand I pulled for you guys is Gap. Gap is just a mall brand, bread and butter for some people, not necessarily for me. For me, Gap, it's iffy for me. I sometimes pick it up, sometimes don't pick it up, but I do know some people really enjoy selling Gap, so I thought I would insert this into this video. So what we're gonna do once again is find the big giant materials tag. So this one is like 5 pages long, but all we're gonna need is the very back. Now, here is what this little baby tag looks like on Gap. Not all Gap pieces are going to have this specific tag in them, and I do have trouble finding stock photos with some Gap pieces. With those items, I'll do a quick search for keywords, and if I can't find it, it's getting listed without a stock photo. So when it has this tag, it makes it extremely easy. So on here, you can see, just like the Athleta piece, you can see S/. So that's gonna work pretty much the same exact way as Athleta. You can also see under that, we're looking the same, this looks like the same exact tag as the Athleta tag. It's gonna tell you the icon jacket, dark brig, which is what the item is. It's then gonna give you something else, and then it's gonna say holiday 14. So that's when this was made. So we're back on Google, and we're gonna type in Gap, and then just like the Athleta, we're gonna leave out the S/, and we're gonna type in just this stuff. So 988745. Enter, and then we're gonna do images, and then as you can see, nothing pulled up. So then we're gonna do the same thing we did with Athleta, and sometimes Gap will pull up like this, but I find most of the time it doesn't. As you can see, it did pull up like someone's listing on Poshmark, but we want a stock photo, so that's not really gonna help us. So we're gonna go back up to the search, and we type in Gap, and we're gonna type in icon jacket, and then we're gonna type in the wash that it is. Dark brig is what it says. That is probably shortened for something, but this is how it's gonna pull up. So here we are on the Gap website. This is the icon denim jacket with washed well Gap. So this is the exact denim jacket that we have. And as you can see, it's still on the Gap website. We can visit the Gap website and see exactly how much it's being sold for. Oh, it's sold out. So in some case, that will be good for you, because then if it's sold out on the website, people could be looking for that on secondhand sites like Poshmark or Mercari. The next brand I have chosen is White House Black Market. This is a brand I don't always pick up, but I do like to pick up some of the newer styles and some of the trendy pieces, because they do tend to sell really fast for me. So when finding stock photos for White House Black Market, you want to go into this little inside tag. This is a shirt, but this works for jeans and pants and sweaters and pretty much everything White House Black Market. This way will work. So you want to go to this little inside baby tag like all the other ones, and this is what White House Black Market looks like. This one is a lot of numbers and a lot of everything going on here, but the only thing you need to worry about is the second line of numbers. So we're over to Google, and we're going to type in White House Black Market, and then we're going to type in the second line of numbers. So 5702157001, enter. And then we're going to look up images, and the first image that pops up is called reversible long sleeve lace top, and so this is exactly what I have. Now this is on the White House Black Market website, so we're gonna go visit the website and see what's happening. So this top is out of stock, but this is where you can find a ton of information. So personally, I kind of like when it pulls up the website for the actual item, because then look at all this information that I have on the item. I can put all this inside of my description. I have the name of the top, the pictures of the top, like I have so much information. So this is a really simple way to look up White House Black Market stock photos. And if I can't find the stock photo using this way, 95% of the time I can, but there are those one-off chances that you can't find the stock photo. Once again, describing words and keywords will sometimes get you the stock photo, but not always. But once again, do not spend all your time looking for one stock photo. If you can't find it, just move on, list the item as is, and it'll still sell. Next up, I'm going to talk about Loft. I believe someone actually requested for me to do Loft in the last video, and now Loft is different than all the other brands I've showed you. This is on a brand where you can just go get a number and type it in, and boom, there's your stock photo. Loft is a brand where you have to use keywords and describing words, which I've said a few times in this video, but if you're so confused and you're like, what the heck does that mean? How do I find it using that? I'm gonna show you right here. So this is a Loft piece, and we can go back down here to the materials tag, and now it just has the materials. It doesn't have anything fancy. It's not going to tell us what the style is, nothing. So here is the item. It is just a multicolored striped cute little bell sleeve sweater, and this is how you're going to describe it. So now we're over to Google. We're going to type in Loft, and then we're going to type in multicolored striped bell sleeve sweater. Enter. And then looking here, what is this? This looks like the sweater that I have here. This is on Poshmark. This, they call it the Loft Fun Mixed Stripe Bell Sleeve Sweater, which, yeah, great name, but look at what I have here. This is a stock photo. So now that we found this listing on Poshmark, we could go back up here and type in Loft Mixed Striped Bell Sleeve Sweater, and we can see if that pulls it up. Okay, so as you see, that name is the style name, and that pulls it up. Now, sometimes if you have a new with tag Loft piece, there will be a couple number sequences on there that can pull up the stock photo. I don't have a new with tag Loft piece in my closet right now, so I can't show you exactly what that looks like, but I do know I have found stock photos that way before. So if you do have a new with tag piece, I would definitely search the stock photo that way. We're getting down to the end. The second to last brand I chose was Lulu's. This is just a red kind of lace dress. And Lulu's is another brand where probably 90% of the time I find the stock photo and 10% of the time I don't. I don't know if that's because they're older pieces or there's just no stock photos out there, but most of the time I can find stock photos. So what we're gonna do is find the materials tag. I'm sure you guessed that's where we were headed. And now the Lulu's materials tag looks like this one side, and then the other side looks like this. I don't even know if you guys can see that. But if you ever own Lulu's piece, you're going to flip it over, and you're going to find where it says style number. Isn't that so convenient and nice? And then we're going to go to Google. We're going to type in Lulu's, and then we're going to type in JMD 10248. And then we're going to push enter. And then we're going to go to images, and it says nothing. So this is one of those one-off Lulu's pieces that doesn't pull up. So what we're going to do, if the style number doesn't pull it up, which most of the time it does, I have had a few pieces that don't, what we're going to do is we're going to describe the dress. So this dress is like a red lace midi dress. That's pretty basic description, but we're going to see if it pulls it up. So here we are. I'm just searching all these millions of red dresses, and here we are. This is the dress I have. This is called Season of Joy Red Multi-Lace Midi Dress. So as you can see here, it doesn't take a million keywords to figure out what the dress is. I literally typed in a few describing words, and there it was. Now, if you're new to reselling, it might be a little hard to use describing words if you're not really into fashion or you don't really know some terms. So if you didn't know that this is called a midi dress, then you most likely wouldn't have found it that easy. So just like search terms and like figure out what things are before you try to do a bunch of describing words, because when I first started out, I would have a lot of trouble with stock photos. But now that I know keywords and know how to describe things better, it's pretty simple to find stock photos. Now, last but not least, I have to show you guys Lululemon. Now, Lululemon is a brand where a lot of the times you need to use describing words. You kind of have to know your Lulu to kind of figure out what things are. And there is a way to find stock photos using a size dot, but not every piece has the size dot with the style around the size. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So if you've never sold Lulu before, you've never owned Lulu before, you don't even know what I'm talking about size dots, you're gonna go and you're gonna find this little dot. Now, a lot of the time it's in a zipper pocket, it's in an inside pocket, it's in a bra pocket, it's in a pocket somewhere. And it looks just like this. It has the size in the middle, and then it has a sequence on the outside that is technically a style number and then the year that it was made. So I actually figured out this trick from an Instagram post. I have no idea whose post it was, but I remember it very vividly and it stuck with me ever since I saw it. And I might pop it up on the screen here so you guys can see what I'm talking about, because this was definitely not found by me. I saw it on Instagram and then I wanted to share it with you guys. And so as you can see on this little size dot, obviously the size is in the middle, and then you're gonna see just a lot of numbers and letters and things going on. So first thing I want to have you look at is find the L, and the 4 numbers before the L are going to be the year and the month that this Lulu piece was made. So mine is 01/18, and then there's an L after that. So these were made January 2018, and that is when these were made. Then after the L, you're gonna see a W. Now this is where the style name or numerical sequence starts. So it's gonna be W and then the 5AT0S, and then you stop. Whatever yours is, that is the style number. So let's search it on Google. So we're gonna type in Lululemon, and then we're gonna go to our size dot, and we're gonna find the W. We're gonna type in those letters and numbers after that. So 5AT0S. T0S is what mine is. So then we typed that in. We're gonna go to images, and then the first thing that pops up, the first 2 things, is the leggings that I have. So these pulled up on Lulu Fanatics, and if you have no idea what that is, and you're selling Lululemon, you need to go to Lulu Fanatics. You can find every single thing Lululemon has ever released on Lulu Fanatics, and this is where I find all of my stock photos and style names and everything. But as you can see, these are the speed up tight 28-inch heathered black first release. So these are the exact same leggings that I have. And not only did we find the style name from that, we found the stock photo, and now we know what year and what month this specific piece came out in. With Lululemon, I do want to reiterate that not every single piece and their size dot has that around it, and not every piece is going to work like that. But when it does work like that, it makes it extremely simple and easy to find the stock photo. If your Lulu piece does not have that around the size and on the size dot, using keywords, using Lulu Fanatics, all that stuff will help you find stock photos. Lululemon is probably one of the only brands, in my opinion, that the style name and stock photo sells the item better. Personally, as someone who owns Lululemon and likes to shop secondhand for Lululemon, I personally like when sellers know the style name of what they have, and they know what it is, and they find the stock photo, and they know everything about the piece. And that's what you want to try to do. All right, you guys, that was it for this part 2 to finding stock photos video. Let me know down below if you guys want to see a part 3 and what brands you want to see next. Obviously, I still have 1,020 brands I could go over, but my list that I have is getting a little short. I don't even know if I have 10 more. I need to sit down and definitely add more to the list. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you learned something new. Maybe you learned how to find a stock photo for a brand that you didn't know how to. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I will see you again next week.